Hello, my lovelies. So, I'm back, and it has been a hectic week. I got my hair colored, but it's not quite where I want it to be. I think I'm going to have to do another coating to get it to where I want it to be. So, it's almost there, but it's not quite the color I wanted. So, it's a little darker than I wanted. So, I'm going for something a little lighter. Maybe not a little lighter, but definitely a little richer than this color. I don't like the way it fades, or darkens, not fades, but darkens so high up. Let's see. Can we just acknowledge how much my hair's grown? I know it's not like epic proportions, but damn. I mean, these hair masks really work. So, yeah, definitely. But that's something I wanted to talk about today, or tonight, whatever. Living with hypothyroidism. As I've mentioned before, I have hypothyroidism, which means my thyroid works slowly, as opposed to hyperthyroidism, where your thyroid overworks, and, vice versa. Surprisingly, though, you use the same medication for hypo as you do for hyper, which I always found interesting. I don't know why, but it's Synthroid or levothyroxine, depending on which pharmacy you are. I always call it Synthroid because that's something that a lot of people have heard of in their lives. I mean, you've probably heard of Synthroid at some point in your life. You may be on Synthroid. I don't know. A lot of Americans are on Synthroid, I've learned. I don't know of any history in my family of this issue. I just know that when I was really young, the doctors always thought that I had a tonsil problem. So they would always ask me, does your throat hurt? And I would say no, because they would see the kind of like the sides of the neck swelling. I don't know why they never checked me for hypothyroidism. Maybe they did and it just didn't show up. My hypothyroidism didn't show up till 2007, after I gave birth to my son in 2006. February of 2007, I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism, so it's been 14 years since I've had, my diagnosis began. So I've lived with hypothyroidism for 14 years. And what can I say about living with hypothyroidism? Oh, that's too dark. Well, one thing for sure, you become fatigued a lot. Tiredness is something I struggle with anyway because of just having, sleep problems anyway, which might be caused by the hypothyroidism. I don't know. I've always been an insomniac, so I don't know. It's hard to pinpoint exactly what's causing the insomnia. Several things have been thrown around. Hypothyroidism was one of them, but it's hard to say for exact sure. Another thing is joint and muscle pain. It will cause that. Fluctuations in weight. I've always struggled with my weight, even though it's not something I like to talk about. It is a real part of my life. I've always struggled with my weight in different manners. The hypothyroidism doesn't make it any better, but make a long story short without going into a lot of details, I have body dysmorphia. I've had it since I was probably about 15 or 16. I don't see what other people see. It's just the way my brain works. I grew up thinking that your weight was everything, and that if you weren't a certain weight, you weren't good enough. And it really had an effect on me, like mentally. And it caused body dysmorphia in a way that you can't imagine. So, or maybe you can imagine, maybe you struggle with severe body dysmorphia yourself. But it really affects my mood at times, and there's nothing really I could do about that. I I've been to counseling. I've done several things. I try to tell myself it's not as horrible as what I picture it in my mind or what I see, but I can't change what I see, and it does affect my mood and my eating habits. I've always had strange eating habits. I'll be honest, eating on camera has kind of helped with that. Just feeling like I have somebody to communicate with when I eat. It has helped, but it hasn't completely fixed the problem. And I don't know if the problem will ever be completely fixed. I don't know what people see when they look at me. I really don't. I don't know what people see when they look at me on these videos. I mean, maybe they do see what I see, but I don't really know because I don't ask, and I don't really want to know. So, you know, it's just part of all that does feed into my CPTSD. It's just part of the whole picture. It's just one small part of the whole picture, if that makes any sense. Hair, you know, I've been talking about my hair thickening up and feeling better. My hair used to fall in clumps. Now it's not. It's still very fine. As you can see, it's not incredibly thick or anything like that, but it's not falling out in clumps like it used to, and it's growing. That's a good sign. You know, like that right there, my hair has grown a lot. And I love hair growth. Like, I'm all about it. Like, it may not be the thickest or the prettiest in the world, but it's getting healthier month by month. Every time I use a hair mask, I feel it get a little healthier. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm making my journey there, and, you know, it's the journey that matters. You know, I've heard my whole life, journey begins with a single step, and that is truly the truth of my life, because, you know, the first step's always the hardest for me. I'm sure that's the case with many people. You struggle with, you know, making that first step, taking that first step, even though you know that this decision is better for your life. You struggle, and I know anxiety and depression come along with you know, hypothyroidism, but it also comes along with CPTSD. So I feel like I've always had anxiety, and my depression began probably when I was about in my early 20s. So, but I feel like I've always been an anxious person. I've always had that nervous energy, and, you know, I don't know, it's just always been there. I was an anxious child, and I grew into an anxious teenager who became an anxious young adult who's now an anxious adult. And that feeds into my insomnia. I have a lot of nervous energy, and because of that, I don't sleep well, and I have a lot more energy than probably a lot of people my age. But then at the same time, I suffer from, you know, fatigue. So it's like I'm tired, but I want to go. If that makes any sense. My body says rest, but my mind says go. So it's really like warring with two opposite sides of the poles. One aspect of me is saying I'm tired, I need to rest. And then another aspect of me is saying, no, go. We can do more, we can do more, we can do better, we can do more. And it does cause quite a bit of conflict with me because I can't find a middle ground. And no, I'm not bipolar. I've been tested for bipolar disorder. I'm not bipolar. I do suffer from CPTSD, and it can have its ups and downs. Just recently, I've been kind of on the upside, the manic side, just very nervous, very jittery, very worrisome. If it shows in my speech patterns now, just ignore it. It's just what's left over from and it doesn't go away. It'll slowly descend into depression. And it's just a different kind of worry. It's still worry, but it's just a different kind of worry. Where anxious is like, oh my gosh, what's next? Depression is more like, oh God, what next? What now? So you see, it's like the same thing, but it's in different contexts. So that's something I deal with. But thankfully, my medication helps. And I know a lot of people were upset when I said a while ago in one of my vlogs that I'm on medication. But you have to understand, I've tried everything. And I'm not saying therapy doesn't help. Therapy's great. My therapist is the one who put me on the medication. There was an incident where I was self-harming, and you can't live life like that. And it was because of circumstances in my life that I couldn't control at that time. And I'm better now, so don't feel worried about me. I've been on my medication for over 4 years. So it was just a very dark place in my life. And it was just a place where I had to finally say I need help. Going back to hypothyroidism, other things that you suffer from are, I suffer from extreme thirst. I try to placate that with water, which is why I'm doing the gallon of water day challenge. I'm still on that. It's still going strong. Everything's going great. I love the way it makes me feel. I wish it could help with some of these ups and downs and stuff, but it's not really doing anything for that. But it is doing wonders for my skin, hair, and nails. So, what more can you really ask for, right? Another thing is that my nails get brittle. I can't really do fake nails because the nail underneath is brittle and it'll break. And any pressure like acrylics would cause the nail to break off very badly. I know one year I did acrylics. I was so excited. And I did acrylics, and they were pretty. Oh, they were so beautiful. I had them. They were all flashy and pretty. And one of my nails cracked right down the middle, across. Not up and down, across. And it was so painful because the acrylic was still on the whole nail, but my nail was cracked in the middle. And I remember I was in so much pain. And I just decided from then on I would no longer do acrylic nails. And I miss them because they were beautiful. Oh man, they put designs on them and little jewel things on them. They glued them on. And they were pretty colors. It was like a lilac color. It was real pretty. I wish I kept the pictures, but I didn't keep the camera. That was back before, cell phone stuff had, before I had a cell phone with a camera. I just had a camera. And anyway, your nails will become brittle. Your hair will fall out. You will develop like thyroid storms where your body breaks out in rashes. And my body does that anyway because I have lupus. See, don't forget about the lupus. We can't forget about lupus. So like I said, I have quite a bit of health problems. I'm not even gonna lie. I have quite a few health problems. Water's helped a lot of them, believe it or not. That's weird, right? I don't know. Maybe it's not weird. Maybe I'm just weird. Anyway, I've felt that the hair masks have made a tremendous difference in my life. And face masks are wonderful. I swear sometimes I walk around with both of them on at the same time. And I feel like a goddess. And there's nothing wrong with that. And, trying to think what else. You'll get cold a lot. I stay cold at times. But my body will get hot. It's like I feel cold, but my body's hot. It's a very strange phenomenon because it's not a fever. So even though I feel hot to the touch, it's not actually, I'm not sick. It's my thyroid. And during those times, my thyroid would be swollen. I have to be careful what I eat because certain greases and oils and stuff will irritate my thyroid, and I cannot eat at restaurants that use a lot of fillers in their food. So that pretty much knocks out restaurants with buffets because they use fillers, and it swells my thyroid, and it's very painful, and I'll have a thyroid storm. This may not be interesting to a lot of people. I don't know how many people have ever questioned, what it's like to have hypothyroidism, or just, in general, thyroid problems. It's not fun. It's livable, and you do have to be careful, but it's not fun. And that's just the honest to goodness truth about it. It can be very hard to juggle life with hypothyroidism, especially if you have other health issues that can interact with your hypothyroidism, such as lupus. So it can make it a struggle. But like I said, I've had hypothyroidism now for 14 years. And I haven't died yet, so I guess that means I'm doing something right. And to be honest, I've been on the same strength of medicine for 14 years. I've never had to have my dosages increase. I get tested every 6 months, and I've never had a reason for a dosage increase. If you notice the decrease in sound in the background, that's my heater going off. Just ignore it. And we are still very cold here, so yeah. Not to mention, Eli has gone back to school after all this freezing and stuff, and not even a week later, his nose is running again. What? What? We just got over a head cold near Valentine's Day, and he missed some school because the roads were frozen and stuff. And now he's barely gone back a week, and his nose is already running again. I'm just tired at this point. But what can you do, right? They're kids. He's 3. He's in preschool. It's a normal thing, right? For them to be snotty-nosed all the time. I mean, it's just... As a parent, it's so frustrating. But what can you do? I mean, it's bound to happen. That was my little rant about... Yeah. Anyway... I hope everybody's staying safe out there. I know our numbers are decreasing, but we're all holding our breath because we just want this to go away. To be honest, we just want it to stop. We're tired of always just feeling like we're waiting for the other shoe to drop. I know everybody's feeling this, the stress, just the overall stress. But that's really all I have to say about hypothyroidism. I know it can cause urinary problems too in women. I guess in men too. I don't know. I know more women have it than men. I don't know why that is, but it just is. It must have a connection to hormones. And I know it sucks. But I'm going to have another video coming out. I have some macarons that just came in the mail, and I cannot wait to share them with you. I'm not going to tell you which flavor. They're going to be a surprise. But I'm thinking about getting me some McDonald's tomorrow. I know, McDonald's. I want to come out soon with a homemade meatball sub. I'm just trying to get the recipe, which, I mean, how hard can it be? And hopefully sometime this week or next week, I'm going to do a homemade meatball sub video for you, hopefully. Keep your fingers crossed. I'm looking forward to that. But I will let you go for tonight. It's getting late, and I love you all, and stay safe.